Dr. Ashimi, why are doctors on strike and for how long?
If they list point by point by point by point, what you will find is that the summary of all is the insincerity of the representatives. Don't let me say just government. The government and its representatives in the running the affairs of the health sector and perhaps other sectors.
Like you rightly mentioned, you said this has been a lingering issue
Yes.
for a very long time.
Decades.
Exactly. For about 40 good years. That has been the same
It
reason
has
why
always been the
doctors have been
same
going on
and
strike.
other employees.
So in this light, does it mean that the strike is not effective enough or is not getting to the right quarters? Or what are the alternatives you think doctors can employ to actually see that government yield to your cries, to your agitations, and nobody is getting suffered on the long run?
Okay, you see, one of the things I have tried very hard to do, even among our own peers, is to find this alternative. You are not the first person asking this question. We ask these questions ourselves. But when you decide to, pieces the whole issue and try to put it together, you realize that it's difficult when you have people who would never, how do you put it now? Would never respect the agreements that they make with you. Now, before any strike action or majority of strike actions, I can tell you that, yes, there are some impromptu withdrawal of services. For example, recently when some patient's relative decided to, beat a doctor, I would say, look, let's withdraw people for people to understand that this is not right. There are strike actions like that. Of course, those only last for like 1-2 days just to show that we are angry, we don't want this kind of thing. But these strike actions that come from dispute, the conflicts, employer-employee, there's something called labor conflict or labor, crisis and all of that. There are stages to this thing. It is the strike action that people get to hear about. It is the one that becomes obvious.
Okay.
When these things happen, the employer or the union, the employee or the union, they write letters to who it is supposed to be written to, and then they expect discussions and all of this. But this is how it plays out in this our climb. A union says we have these issues, okay, and then write letters, write reminders, write this, and that can go on for like 3 months, 6 months, and you are not even getting acknowledgements to your letters. You are not even hearing that, okay, the people you are writing to have set up a small committee to investigate what you are demanding and see how to, mitigate whatever is going to come after. They just say, go and do your worst. Then the next thing is you give a 21-day notice of a strike action, and then they won't say anything until a day or 2 days to the commencement of the action. Then I start calling you for meetings and all of that. Go and look at the history of strikes in this country. Across board, it has been the same trend.
Yeah. But doctor, to my mind, there seem to be, in fact, there is a palpable conflict between doctors going on strike and your oath.
I know you will come to that.
The Hippocratic oath.
I know you will come to that.
What is of priority to you? As a matter of fact, since you knew I would come to that, let me go
I know.
Now, funny enough, when we have Comrade Tajuddin in the house, I may ask him similar question. Lawyers are very familiar with Bibles and Qurans due to how oaths are administered in the courts.
That's right.
Doctors as well take oath that life shall be the priority. As I speak with you, Dr. Ashimi, I won't cry. You know what? I've lost 2 colleagues in the last 2 months. 2 lawyers are dead. Why? Because they were rushed to government hospitals in Lagos and they had no place to be treated.
Okay.
When they eventually got private hospital, the bill was get us 2 million before we start. Two what? So we have lost 2 lives. These are those that I know. How about those that I don't even know? How about those having antenatal? How about those taking vaccine for their children? These pregnant women. So how do you feel, doctor, when you hear? Now let's take doctor aside. I'm talking to Ashimi.
Yeah.
Kunle. I'm talking to Kunle Ashimi.
Yes, I'm here.
How does Kunle Ashimi feel when, because of your demands from the government, which is not about the people, by the way, it's just about doctors.
Yeah.
Your grouse is about what you want from the government, your employers. How do you feel when you hear that people are dying because you're on strike?
Okay, I'm going to approach this way. See, the Hippocratic oath that people like to hang around our neck, people don't understand that oath. The oath, when it was first published, some people say it was Hippocrates, some people say it was the Pythagoreans that did it. It placed obligations only on the doctors towards society, and nothing from the society towards the doctor. Okay. And people always hang around this area of primum non nocere, that first do no harm. Well, we don't do any harm. By training, we know that our job is to save life. When I am there and the patient presents, I do what I have to do. That is one. 2 is that no relationship can thrive if only one person is getting everything and the other party is doing nothing. And that's what brought up about all this VAT thing. Some people are generating the revenue, some people are spending it. So in other words, the doctors are doing all the work, doing everything, but nothing, that the society is not bound to also take care of them.
Why did you shut the courts?
You have to shut the court because our peculiar allowances was shortchanged. When the issue of new minimum wage came to light, every state governors were asked to go and prepare the table. In the case of judiciary, I wonder, as the third arm of government, this consolidated judicial salary structure has been enjoyed since as far back as 2012. But when this issue of a new minimum wage came to light, Ogun State government have to change us by 100%. When we received the table, we rejected it, that this table doesn't belong to us. Then, we wrote to the government in October 2020, rejecting that table. In November 2020, we wrote a reminder letter to them that they shouldn't forget to prepare a table.
Making 2?
Yes. Nothing was done.
Nothing? You mean no response?
No response at all. But in February 2021, we held our Congress. At the Congress, we arrived on some issues, among which 21 days ultimatum be given to the Ogun State government. If they fail,
was it by letter or verbally?
By we issued a communique to them. Yes,
that would be the third move. Yes. Did they do anything?
Nothing until late hour. When we are back,
when you listening to this show,
no.
Okay.
It seems as if, comrade, you were just saying the same way doctor said it.
I have told you that is the norm with the people in government.
But exactly, I think I should even apologize that I laughed. This is not a laughing matter. No, it's painful, really. It's painful.
Very, very painful.
I mean, it's painful. It's painful, really. I can't imagine, even in my small office, I can't imagine my staff asking me for something that I think he or she is worth, and I do this, I think it's a height of irresponsibility to start with. But can you go on, sir, please?
Thank you. So at the late minute when we are about to embark on that strike, we were called.
How many days or hours or weeks difference, please?
We issued that communique on the 24th of February 2021. We were called to the meeting in March, sometimes late in March.
Okay. That's few days before the end of the ultimatum.
Yes, we were called. We started meeting thereafter.
So you have to suspend the strike, I want to know.
Yes, we have to. Since the
meeting was going on.
Yes, we have to. So during that meeting, that our conduit was restored. Gave us 100% of that conduit. They now went to our basic salary, reducing our basic salary, which form part of our retirement benefits.
Oh my.
Yes.
I wish we can pause time. I didn't know. No.
Because of time?
Yeah, I mean, oh my. So they kind of that's like a carrot and stick. They gave you something and took something.
Yes.
Okay.
But they didn't tell you about it, sir.
They didn't tell us until when we received the table. We have to peruse it. We beg for time to have a look. So thereafter, we discovered that why did you reduce our basic salary?
I'm sorry, sir. Let me quickly butt in. We have not taken a single call today, and this is 3:47 already. Time is really fast spent. But sir, I have noticed, unfortunately, that, for example, Prince Dakwabiodun, the governor of Ogun State, I don't think he's feeling your strike. I don't think so. This is the 4th week. By when it will be the 5th week. I don't think the SSG, the commissioners, even for AG of Ogun State, I don't think they feel a hit when you go on strike. Have you thought of alternative things to do to make them feel the heat apart from strike action? Doctor just dodged the question. Don't dodge it. Apart from strike action, what else have you thought about?
You see, whenever there's a dispute between the government and the union, to start with, a meeting has to come up. But during that meeting, if an agreement doesn't reach, union doesn't have any other thing. The last weapon that union have is the strike. That's the language duly understood by the government.